Hey garden friends, I am going to take you on a little trip to Lowe's, see what we've got in stock here in my local one. It's actually an hour away from me, but see what they've got in for spring so far. And then I'm going to show you what I bought and we're going to plant it up. So let's get rolling. Even walked in, outside was this display of plants. Look at these violas. I love it when they have just one color in a container and it's not a jumble of all different ones. And then these ranunculus were so eye-catching and beautiful and full bloom. I just enjoyed them so thoroughly. It was very tempting. But here's something I wanted to warn against. Try not to buy tomato plants too early. Now they had them ready here. It was a sunny day when we saw these, but now we are getting snow and winter-like weather. So I would have had to put these in the house, which does not get the ideal sun for them. And then of course, here's some bacopa. Isn't this color lovely? That says Megacopa Blue Bacopa by Monrovia. These also were so vibrant and colorful. I tried to get the name. These just really caught your eye. I had a few faux pas going on with the camera. I made some mistakes. I turned it off and when I meant to turn it on and vice versa. But look at these pansy baskets. They were just beautiful, but $20, wow. Now this ready fill bucket is very similar to the one I bought last year with the pink petunias in it, and it did beautiful all summer, but I got them on clearance, the clearance rack. So I'll come back and check the clearance rack again. But look at these anemones. They were just doing beautiful. These are cool weather. Look at this selection of dahlia. I was very tempted by this one down here, but I promised myself not to buy any more. But look, the dahlia, the lilac collection. Yeah, beautiful big bag full. And here is where they sucked me in. And I'll share more on that in a bit. But look at the primroses. I have some blue primroses in my greenhouse that are just bringing me pure pleasure. Primroses come back every year for me. So let's get moving on to what I found. Okay. Yep. I had a nice little trip to Lowe's. I was going to check their bargain rack. There wasn't really anything on the bargain rack that I couldn't pass up. But I did find delphiniums, bare root. I have never planted them bare root. I've started from seed. I've dug up my own and divided, and I've started from cuttings. So this should be interesting. The first thing I'm going to do is take them out of the package. It was $10.98 for 3 plants, which I thought was not a bad price. You can grow them less expensive from seeds, but sometimes delphiniums can be a bit tricky. I'm going to try a new technique for me soon of starting these from seeds, and I'll let you know how it goes. I'll take you along as well. Now, one thing about that, this is a mix, so I didn't get to choose the color. So it's anybody's guess what I'll get. I do have a pair of scissors in here, and I didn't grab them. I should have grabbed them to do this. The first thing I'm going to do is in this bowl, I have water and I have some organic Reb. And what I want to do is soak the roots of these bare root plants in it for about half an hour. Now let me dump this out. Usually they're packaged in peat moss, and they can get dried out when you pick them up this way at a big box store like Lowe's. Throw this in the trash. And but this peat moss seems to have a bit of moisture to it, very little. So now you're going to have to dig around because these are teeny tiny little starts. Now this is the top. See how tiny that is? And these are the roots. So I'm going to go ahead, set it in here, and let it soak. It doesn't matter if the whole thing goes under. Trying to find the other ones. Okay. These are very, very tiny. And they're so covered with the moss, you can't hardly tell which way is the top. That's the top there. And then this one's super tiny too, but I can feel, well, there's 2 spots that feel like it could be the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, the whole thing goes in it. You can't even see it, it sinks down, but I'm going to let these sit for half an hour. And then the other thing I found was this clematis. This is Henryi. I do not have a pure white clematis, and they grow very, very well for me. I do like getting mine from Brushwood Nurseries. You get a 3-year-old plant. This, I don't know the age of this. Usually they're smaller and they will take sometimes a couple of years to bloom. But I had the HF Young, and it bloomed the first year, just a couple of blooms. But it did bloom, and it's still doing great out there. So let's see. I was trying to see, I'll have to look up the information of Henryi if it is a type 2 pruning or type 3. It's usually they're type 2 when they have the large flowers. Yeah, this one feels pretty moist. All right, I'm just trying to get the plastic up on this. Now I have my heat going. We got several inches of snow over the weekend after the beautiful sunny day that I was out pruning back the clematis with you. And yeah, so they said we'd get 1 inch, we got 6. So it's snowy out there. It's not too bad temperature-wise today, but I have my heater going, and you can see my fan blowing back there. It circulates the heat. Oh, now look at this. It's already sprouting. And it doesn't look like it's I was going to say, for a minute there, that looked like a bud, but it's not. It's just a leaf. Okay. So, and it has this little paper around the root ball thing there, which I will tear it just so that doesn't constrict it. See, I just tore it a little bit. And I'm not going to pull it because it's intertwined with some roots right there. But just loosen that and we're good. And I'm also going to soak this for half an hour in here. So now what the Organic Rev does is it helps stimulate the root growth. And it mitigates any transplant shock you may get. So it gets going faster, healthier, and in the long run will be quite the healthy plant. Now also out here, I never did take this horseradish out. I should. And pot it up too. I had picked these up at Costco, and this I had picked up at Tractor Supply, and I've been meaning to get to it. I just haven't. It has been such a busy time. Now with horseradish, and it's sprouting too, even though it's been very cold out here. How many roots are in here? It said there was 2 sets. And look at that. That's one tough plant because it's been pretty cold out here the last few days. I'm going to get that planted into pots. I could also soak it. So the bowl's getting full. And the elephant ears. I was taking these all out of their packages because I didn't know what kind of shape they were in. So far I've been pleased with how they are, found my scissors, how they are looking. So, oh, it looks like the sun's going to try to peek out here. Okay, let's see. Now, the one time I got elephant ears, there was one piece of it that was rotten, but this looks like it's in really good shape. Get the shavings off of it. Oh, I see a little mildew on the bottom, but that's not the end of the world. But it does tell me I need to get these planted up. So, oh, wait a minute, I had a tag in there with it. This one is Hawaiian Punch. It has the real bright, dark, almost purple stems, and I've been wanting this for a long time. I already bought the package of 9, and I can't remember what it was called, but I planted them out in the garden, and I let them stay over winter. Now, some people say zone 8, you can let them overwinter outside, and some zone 8 you can. But then on the website, Longfield Gardens, for the Hawaiian Punch one, it says no, only zones 9 through 11 can you leave them outside. So I don't know if the ones that I left out in the garden over the winter will make it. We'll see. It was worth the test. And I can always pick up another package next year if I would like of the other one. That one had 9, this has 2. This is a pricier one, and that's why you only get 2 for the same price as you got 9 of the other one. I love them. They give you a real tropical vibe. They do well in containers, and that's what I'm going to keep these in, because next winter I can just take the container in, put it in one of these 2 greenhouses that I have, and it will overwinter inside. That's how I do my dahlias, and it works great. So it will work great for this. And my horseradish, I have a big tub. I'm going to put that in. I'm not going to put it in the ground. Yes, horseradish can become very aggressive if you plant it in the ground and kind of take over. So that is why I will keep it in a very large container. We love horseradish, something I've wanted to grow for a long time. So I wanted to pick up that tuber. Okay, I'm going to leave that package here. I'm going to clean up my mess around here while they soak, and we will come back in a little bit. I'll probably go eat some lunch, let it warm up in here even more, and come back and we will pot these things up. These are the little geums I had started from seed, and I started potting them up. So I've been having fun out here. Let me see, can you see down here? I want to make sure you can see in the camera. Yeah. So anyways, let's start with the clematis. That is doing so well. A lot of times you won't see any growth when you pick them up. These pots were under the deck and it was raining, so, or dripping from the snow. Anyways, let me get some more of my compost up here. I use my DIY compost, which is the turkey compost from a local turkey ranch, and some perlite. Sometimes I'll add a little green sand only because I have it on hand. It's not necessary. Some people use worm castings too, but I've read articles on how they pasteurize it now. So all the goodness of worm castings is pretty much null and void from being heat treated. And so it's really not worth the money you put out. So you might as well get a really good compost, and you never know, call around. You might find somewhere that they carry it in bulk, and then you can make your own. Sometimes you can have it delivered, you can go get it, pick it up. We pick ours up. So that sun's coming out. So hopefully it won't change the light too much for you. So I'm gonna put this pot about half full. Now the deeper you plant your clematis, you want the crown buried. You want it far below the surface of the ground. Now this is going in the pot, but when I plant it in the ground, I will bury it the depth of the pot, but this is going to be far down, further down, and I'm going to bury some of this growth up higher. And that is because if it was to get that wilt, clematis wilt, then it will come back from the roots. It won't kill the plant entirely. So it's really a good idea to plant it extra deep. So I'm thinking that maybe about 1.5 inches of the new viney growth is going to be, I should show you, at least this much from here to here will be under the soil line. And that way, when I go to put it out in the ground, then it will be at the right depth if I just plant it to the surface of the top of this. So now one thing about the turkey compost is it does have some nutrients in it because it's turkey manure, right? But it's been well composted and what have you. So you see how I've got it buried underneath there pretty good. So that is the clematis. That's how easy it is to pot up a bare root clematis. Now it was easier because it had growth on it for me to see where everything was. But usually you can tell where the crown of the plant is. Just make sure you get that crown 2 or 3 inches underneath the soil line, and deeper if you want. I will put this in a tray. I'm going to try to find it. I got a tray down here. And then once I've taken all the plants out of this organic Rev soaking solution, I will pour it over the plants and water it in with that. With the sun coming out, it's starting to get really toasty in here. Oh, yeah, it's almost 70. I might turn off my heater. Of course, then it could cloud up again. Just let me turn it off. I have one of those. It's called the red eye or bullseye propane heaters in here, and the fan circulates it. Okay, so I don't want to plant the horseradish yet. I want to plant up the delphinium. Okay, so I got 3 more pots. There's 3 delphiniums there in it. I need to put more up here. So I have it probably 3/4 of the way full. I know you can't see down in it. Let me put my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing here, because these things are really kind of tricky. And I know that's another one there. So I'm kind of rinsing off. Okay, these are really tiny shoots, but they're still viable because I can see this white pith, I guess, is live stem. So that'll go in there, and I will just plant it where that top is probably 1 inch underneath the ground. Might be 2 inches, but that will work. And I will put, no, I better mark it first. The other one, I know what it is. But these, I will make sure I don't forget by marking. And again, I'm rinsing it off in this solution, finding what is the stem. Now this one's pretty iffy because I don't feel much stem. Okay, pot. Now that's the only, I wouldn't say downside, that's the only unknown with buying them like this in a big box store, is you don't really know when you get them how long they've been in the store, and what kind of cuttings they provided. Yeah, there's not, it just feels like all roots. It doesn't feel like there's a stem. I'm just making sure I didn't mess anything up. Huh. Okay, we'll take a shot, but I don't have high hopes for that one. What should have been the stem, now it could have been that it's been in the store too long and it dried up. I don't know, but now this one still looks viable. If I can find, there's the stem. You kind of feel around for the nub and which way the roots are supposed to be going. Now these roots look very good, so it should do fine. Now when I take cuttings from my own or divide them, it's much bigger pieces. So it might take a season for these to get really going. So yeah, I'll just put them in there. Put it in there, bury it, and make sure I keep it good and moist. It will stay in here in the greenhouse. I won't take it in the house under lights or anything because they don't mind it cool. Delphiniums don't. In fact, my delphiniums, with the warm February we had, I've got growth coming up about this tall. A little bit taller, and I will go and take cuttings from them. And I have a whole video and blog post on that already. That's really, really good. And you can just see how easy it is to take the cuttings. Okay, I'm putting this down on this tray down here. Beginning to run out of room. I've been putting things over in the bespoke greenhouse because of running out of room in here. All right, I said I was going to mark that, and I need to do it. I need to make some more tags. Now, a lot of times I write right on the side of the container, and this one I think is light enough I could get away with it. And I'll just put Delph. And sometimes people use tape. I don't. I have some tape up there, but I just wash off the side of the pots. And I just take it off with rubbing alcohol. Now this one's kind of damp because of where it's been. Let me see right here. But when they're damp, they don't want to write on it. See, I just put delph on that. And this one, I'd find a dry spot delph. Okay, we got those all marked. And we will put them down in the tray, water them in, and I'll water in with the Rev. Give a little bit to each one. And I can make more, should make more. And then I'm deciding on this. Until I get my large container filled up, because I'm going to put it in one of my faux whiskey barrels. I'm going to put both of them in it. They're very big. So yeah, it'll stay in that barrel, and I may plant a few things with it in there with it. So I'll have more than just the horseradish, but I'm pretty sure the horseradish will fill it up eventually. So now the same with the elephant ears. I'm just going to make sure they're like 1 to 2 inches below the surface of the soil. And I've got to get some more containers for that. I don't have any in here, but that's how I'm going to do it. Now those I'm going to take in the house where it's warmer because they like warmth, and they'll get going, and then I can bring them out here probably in a month. This is the 1st of March. You know, April could be pretty cool too. So I may have them in the house for a couple months, but they'll get going and be fine. So that, my friends, is me potting up my vines. Now this would be really easy to pot. You can see I'm just going to put it in the soil and just cover this part and just the bare crown with soil. So yeah, I'm running out of pots, so I need to go get some more. All right, I will see you in the next video, and I hope you enjoyed the little tour of Lowe's and what they have available. And go on back, I just had potted up my phlox that I got from Costco. I have that video and all the other fun stuff I've got here. I also did dahlias. I potted up my dahlias so I could take cuttings from those. So go on back, watch that, and enjoy. So I'll see you in my next video. I'm not sure what I'm going to have up, but it's going to be something fun. Okay, see you next time. Bye.